Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today and Tarot. My name is Mel Rose. This is the Tarot portion of the second half of my daily astrology vlog, which you can check out on my other channel, Astrology Today with Mel Rose. Over there, you'll find a description of today's astrology as I have spelled it out here. Here, I'll discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page, and then I'll play another card that, in the context of today's astrology, may just give us something more to think about. So, let's get into it. The card that currently sits on the side of the page is a brand new one, friends. It's the Nine of Cups, and it is here for a reason. It's here because it corresponds in astrology with the second 10 days or the second decan of the sun's transit here in the land of Pisces. Pisces is a water sign, and cups in tarot represent water element symbolism. Water element symbolism is very much about how things feel to us, our emotions, our intuitions, how we feel in our relationships, what we love, what our gut is telling us, and also a little bit about our personal habits. But often we just bring it back to emotion and intuition. Those are the watery qualities of being human. So we come to the Nine of Cups here, and we see we see a fellow looking rather satisfied with what he has accumulated here. Those 9 cups are stacked up behind him. He's wearing a very nice red hat, right? So the first thing that comes to mind is that 9 is getting close to the end of the cycle. You know, the cycle runs 2 through 10 in tarot, or 1 through 10, depending on how you look at it. And then you've got some royalty cards in there, just like a regular card deck. And so, you know, we're coming to the end of this journey of the heart, of the emotion and the intuition, and we've suffered some disappointment. We've had some points where we felt like we'd rather not move on. We've had to mourn some losses. We've had to examine, you know, the way we give of ourselves emotionally in terms of love and joy and enthusiasm and connection, and also examine, you know, like how we feel about reciprocity, what we need to be getting back, you know, when we give of ourselves in that way. So if you recall, in the Eight of Cups, you know, we find ourselves sort of walking away. Here's the Eight of Cups. We find ourselves sort of walking away from something we had given a lot of emotional investment to, you know, just finding it dissatisfying and realizing that we need to move on in search of satisfaction. And here we come to the Nine of Cups. So we find that sort of sense of satisfaction, right? And it's because we realized that what we were doing wasn't working, and we moved on, and we chose to give of ourselves to a situation that would lead to that sense of comfort, of emotional stability. And it's sort of a feeling that, you know, when you feel that comfort and that emotional stability, you can kind of luxuriate in it. You can kind of just, you know, like feel it like a sense of relief and like a sense of, you know, now I have the really good things that life has to offer. Okay. So this card does speak to there being an environment of sort of luxury, of emotional stability. We have all the available comforts. We have all the comforts of life available to us. We can find ourselves sort of indulging in what life has to offer. And that's great. You know, it's good that we get that opportunity to sort of take a rest, take a breath, you know, and enjoy what has come to us in, you know, like I said, again, in reciprocity, in response to the joy and the love and the gratitude that we have given to a situation, our own lives, a person, place, or thing, an event. But there is also a warning that comes with this. There's a sense of smugness that can come along when we have given of ourselves and finally found that situation that would reciprocate, that would give us back that sense of comfort and stability. Okay, so we want to be careful about not taking our situation for granted. We want to be careful about thinking that, you know, now that we've gotten ourselves into this situation, you know, there's nothing more we have to do, right? Like, I did it, why can't you? And sort of also, you know, I did it, so I don't have to do it anymore, right? We still have to be invested in the things that have given us comfort, that have given us that sense of being able to sort of luxuriate in the joy that life has to offer us, We still have to be giving to that situation in order to be receiving what it is that we love, okay? And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and turn this card over. We got the Spear Four, which is the Four of Wands. We're in the Arthurian Tarot deck, so this is a deck that sort of depicts scenes from the adventures of Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. And here we have a scene where, you know, this might be a tricky one for somebody to interpret. It doesn't look like a regular Four of Wands, does it? So Four of Wands, usually you would have 4 staves, and they would be decorated in this bright and cheery way. You see all these flowers. It looks like it's springtime. It also looks like there's a celebration on, and that's what the Four of Wands is about. You know, it often speaks to me of like this time when we all come together as a community or as a family, as a group or a cohort to complete something, to make an accomplishment. Say, you know, you've brought in, you know, you've worked the harvest and you've brought in all the fruit, or, you know, you've worked together to gain some ground of some kind, and collectively you've managed to do that. This, you know, I've just mixed my metaphors because I was just talking about harvest, and this looks very much like a spring thing, but it could also be a late summer thing as well. But, you know, regardless, you see the community here, you see things looking very bright and sweet, you see clear blue skies and this sort of optimistic looking spear just pointing up and showing us this wreath of flowers, showing us that we have a time of celebration upon us, okay? So it's more of a formalized celebration. It's not just getting together with friends and enjoying their company for the sake of enjoying their company. It's really, you know, a celebration of community, of a celebration of your group or your cohort, and what you're capable of doing when you combine your efforts. So what do we see on the page that has to do with combining our efforts? Well, it's interesting that combining our efforts is here, and we have Venus conjunct to Jupiter here. I drew it in as a trine at first, but then I added that little stem because it is actually a conjunction. That's what a conjunction usually looks like. But what they really look like is 2 planets at the same place from our perspective in the sky. Now, Venus and Jupiter, nowhere near each other, never going to get anywhere near each other, but from our perspective on Earth, right? And the Earth is not at the center of the solar system or the universe or anything except for our own experience, right? So from our perspective, it can look sometimes like Venus and Jupiter are at the same place in the sky. You can see that this evening. Venus is an evening star right now. So right after the sun sets, maybe an hour afterward, you'll see Venus and Jupiter over there in the western sky, either occupying the same place or right next to each other. They'll be the 2 brightest stars because they are planets. They don't twinkle very much. They're not that far away. Venus will be the bigger looking one and Jupiter will be the smaller looking one, which is funny because Jupiter is much bigger than Venus. It's just also much farther away from us. So Venus is, you know, that part of us that calls in what we desire, what we like, love, and can't get enough of. It's that part of us that learns how to attract to us and draw in those things that we want to get our hands on, that make us feel safe and comfortable and even capable of like sort of luxuriating in the joys that life has to offer, like the Nine of Cups says, right? And then Jupiter is our planet for good fortune. It really just wants us to always be having an experience that says, I am growing, I am getting big, I am moving toward bigger and higher goals for myself. You know, that life is full of good fortune, and some of that good fortune can be mine, right? So when Venus is conjunct to Jupiter, these 2 sort of amplify one another's vibrations, right? They make one another brighter. They're sort of combined under pressure together, so their energies are mingled with one another. And they're in Aries too. Aries is a very powerful fire sign. It's about making fresh starts. It's about sort of starting fires, or it's like an ignition switch, right? So under these circumstances, like a very good fortune, this conjunction is a very good fortune kind of vibe. It says you can be lucky in love and also in finance, because Venus talks to us about love and money, right? So all those things that we like, love, and can't get enough of, whether they be people or stuff and things or opportunities. Opportunities abound at this time, especially in Aries. They're going to be opportunities to make fresh starts. You're going to have to act quick when you get the opportunity, because Aries doesn't stick around to make sure that you're on the boat. Okay. It sort of just starts the engine and says, okay, let's go, So this is a good time. This is a time when we might fall in love and have a very fiery and passionate start to an awesome relationship that expands our sense of what we can be, do, and have, and makes us and gives us that sense of comfort and security emotionally in our life. It can be a time when a good friendship or partnership can arise. You can have an amazing opportunity fall into your lap. All sorts of good fortune events can happen. I'm going to be buying a lottery ticket tonight, and I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes open for awesome opportunities, making myself available, and in general, be ready to hop on the boat when it gets there. Now, this Venus has been trucking along lately. Okay, so this conjunction is really at its most powerful today, and then after this, for the next several days, it'll be with us, but it'll be sort of dissipating at that time, right? So take advantage of the good fortune opportunities that come your way at this time. And how does that relate to the Spear 4? It just says that that we come together, conjunction, right, to celebrate what it is that we have achieved together, right? So, that's funny. Also, we can come together and celebrate what we have achieved on our own, but that's more of a Spear 6. When the fabulous opportunity arises, hop on board and don't look back, okay? Aries moves fast. Do not miss the boat, okay? And taken together with the 9 of Cups here. This looks like a personal celebration and a community celebration, right? It looks like we can have both. It feels like, when we find that niche where we can give of ourselves emotionally, intuitively, when we can give, our love and our pride and our time and our effort, out of a sense of desiring a sense of emotional fulfillment, desiring a sense of comfort and luxury and stability in our lives. When we find that place where that sort of group, that sort of cohort where we can give of ourselves and feel satisfied and feel that support and stability, then, we have something to celebrate on our own. And we also add to the collective in such a way that the collective has a reason to celebrate as well. Yeah, that's what I see there today. And hey, friends, I just want to let you know that making some changes here at Astrology Today. I do plan to show up almost every day still and do the tarot portion, but I won't be making the daily portion that's just the Astrology Today anymore. And that's really just to lighten my load a little bit. There are a whole bunch of great aspects and transits. Pluto's going to move into Aquarius soon. Saturn's going to move into Pisces soon. Saturn and Mercury will be conjunct. Soon. Venus is going to conjunct Jupiter, and then Chiron, and then Uranus, and then Mars, and also the North Node. So there's a lot of really exciting and interesting stuff coming up, even just this month. And so I will be here to talk about those things, but I'm not necessarily going to show up every day for the Astrology Today. I don't know whether I will be here every day for the Astrology Today and Tarot, because I'm also trying to take advantage of some opportunities and sort of, make myself available to do bigger, better things, find that comfort and stability that I'm looking for in life. Okay. And I'm also in transition. Lots of things are changing for me. I'm retiring from my job at the end of the month as a massage therapist after 20 years of doing that. I'm also, growing a couple of small businesses, one that has to do with astrology and tarot, one that has to do with writing, and speaking of writing, I'm also trying to grow my YouTube channels at this time. So it would seem counterintuitive to stop posting every day, but really writing every day for the Astrology Today channel has just become something that takes up too much of my time and concern. And there are days when it's really impactful to come and have this conversation, and then there are days when it's less impactful, and so I don't feel like I want to write for those days where there's not really that much going on, or there's not really that much to impact us that day. So on a personal level, I'm turning 50 at the end of March. Very soon, Mrs. Rose and I are going to pull up our roots from Arkansas and move across the country to California. The timing and some details of that move are still pending, but I will keep you all up to date. We know where we're going, and we're confident that this is a move in the right direction. So this is just one of those things where I have to release my grasp on one thing so that I can sort of reach out and grab the next thing as it comes along. I appreciate your support. Please still, subscribe to the channel, like the video, give it a thumbs up, click that notifications bell. I will be back to share insight and communication from tarot and astrology with you frequently, just not on the everyday basis necessarily. So thanks for hearing me out on that. Thank you so much for being here. I think that's all I have to say about it today. I hope you all have a truly great Venus conjunct Jupiter, and I hope that truly great opportunities arise for you at this time to find some satisfaction, some luxury, some stability and comfort in your life, and some things to celebrate, not just with yourselves, but with your cohorts. All right. My name is Mel Rose. I'm signing off. I'll see you all back here probably tomorrow for more Astrology Today and Tarot.